Did you know that something as commonplace and seemingly harmless as your daily shower routine could be dangerously increasing your risk of a heart attack or stroke? Yes, something you do automatically, without thinking, could be putting your life at risk without you even realizing it. Every year, more than 17,000 older adults suffer serious cardiac events in the bathroom or immediately after showering. And what's most alarming is that the vast majority of these people had no prior serious diagnosis and were unaware that their daily habits were creating the perfect scenario for a silent tragedy. According to data from the American Heart Association, nearly 40% of heart attacks in people over 65 are related to sudden changes in temperature and blood pressure, many of which occur precisely in the bathroom. Not on the street, not during strenuous exercise, but at home during a seemingly normal shower. Today, I want to reveal 5 dangerous habits you're probably repeating every day while showering, habits that are putting your heart and brain under extreme stress. But that's not all. I'm also going to teach you, step by step, how to shower safely to drastically reduce your risk of a heart attack or stroke. If you're over 60, if you want to protect your heart and brain and continue living independently, please don't go anywhere. What you're about to learn could literally save your life. Let me explain something very few doctors have time to tell you. After age 60, the cardiovascular system changes. The heart responds more slowly, blood vessels lose elasticity, and blood pressure becomes much more unstable. This means your body no longer tolerates sudden changes as well as it used to. And here's the problem. The bathroom is one of the places where the most extreme changes occur in the shortest amount of time. Sudden temperature variations, increased humidity, changes in heart rate, and sharp rises or falls in blood pressure. For a young person, this might not seem like a big deal. But for a 60, 70, or 80-year-old heart, it can be the difference between walking out of the shower or not. A study published in the Journal of the American Heart Association followed more than 3,500 older adults for 5 years. Researchers found that those who maintained certain dangerous shower habits were 3.2 times more likely to suffer a serious cardiovascular event, such as a heart attack or stroke. In the next few minutes, you'll discover what those 5 deadly habits are that many people unknowingly repeat every day. You'll understand why very hot water can spike your blood pressure in seconds, what the most dangerous moment in the shower is, the exact instant when most heart attacks occur, and you'll learn a safe, simple, and practical shower protocol that you can start using today. This information isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to protect you. It can prevent you or someone you love from becoming another statistic. That's why I asked for your full attention. What you are about to learn is not just any advice. It is quite literally a matter of life and death. Let's get straight to the most dangerous habit of all, the one that silently claims the most lives: showering with excessively hot water. And when I say excessively hot, I mean temperatures above 104 degrees Fahrenheit. That water that feels wonderful, that relaxes your muscles and gives you a false sense of well-being, but which is actually putting your heart and brain under extreme stress. Now, pay close attention to what happens inside your body the moment you step into a very hot shower. The intense heat causes your peripheral blood vessels to dilate rapidly and massively. It's as if thousands of tiny highways inside your body expand simultaneously. This causes a sharp drop in blood pressure. Your brain detects this drop and interprets it as an emergency. It goes into high alert mode and sends a direct order to your heart. Pump harder and faster now. In a matter of minutes, your heart rate can increase by 30 or even 40 beats per minute. All of this happens very quickly, sometimes in just 2 or 3 minutes. Here's the serious problem. A 60, 70, or 80-year-old heart isn't designed for such abrupt changes. It's like asking an old engine to go from 0 to full throttle suddenly. A valve might fail, the rhythm might go awry, the oxygen supply might fail. And when that happens, the consequences can be fatal. A study conducted in Japan by Keio University, published in 2019, analyzed more than 1,000 cases of sudden deaths occurring in the bathroom. The data is chilling. 73% of those cases happen with water temperatures above 108 degrees Fahrenheit. The reason? At that temperature, cardiovascular stress reaches dangerous levels. Very hot water can trigger arrhythmias, that is, irregular heartbeats. It can cause coronary ischemia, a lack of oxygen in the heart muscle. And it can also cause a sudden increase in pressure inside the skull, raising the risk of a stroke. Added to this is another factor that almost no one talks about. The steam from hot water reduces the amount of oxygen available in the bathroom. You breathe worse without realizing it, and your heart has to work even harder to deliver oxygen to your entire body. It's a perfect storm. Let me tell you about Don Ramon, 71 years old. He loved very hot showers. They relax me, they relieve my stress, she always said. One morning, she took a 15-minute shower with the water at approximately 109 degrees Fahrenheit. When she got out, she felt a pain in her chest, but she ignored it. She thought it was just tiredness. 2 hours later, she was in the hospital with a heart attack. Her cardiologist was very clear. The hot shower triggered her cardiovascular response, narrowed her coronary arteries, and was the cause of the heart attack. And the hardest thing to hear was this. If she had known about this risk, it probably could have been avoided. That's why specialists and centers like the Mayo Clinic agree on something very important. The ideal water temperature for older adults is between 95 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. In this range, your body can adapt gradually without putting undue stress on your heart or brain. How can you tell if you're at a safe temperature without using a thermometer? It's simple. If your skin doesn't turn bright red, if the bathroom doesn't fill with thick steam, and if you can breathe normally, you're within the correct range. Correcting this habit has enormous benefits, not only physical, but also emotional. Every shower ceases to be a silent game of Russian roulette and becomes a truly safe and enjoyable experience. You bathe with peace of mind, without subjecting your body to an invisible risk. And that, especially after 60, can mean the difference between life and death. The habit is one that many people believe is healthy, energizing, or even rejuvenating. Sudden temperature changes in the shower, going from hot to cold water, or worse, finishing with ice-cold water to get going. For an older adult, this isn't invigorating. It's a direct hit to the heart. When you suddenly switch from hot to cold water, your blood vessels constrict violently in a matter of seconds. It's as if all the internal roads in your body close at once. The blood has nowhere to circulate and rushes to the center of your body. The result? Your blood pressure spikes instantly, in some cases 30 to 50 points in less than half a minute. At the same time, your body releases a huge surge of adrenaline. The brain interprets the sudden cold as an extreme threat. It goes into survival mode. Your heart rate accelerates sharply, the rhythm becomes unstable, and your heart is subjected to an overload it's not prepared for, especially after age 60. A Finnish study published in Circulation Research was conclusive. Sudden temperature changes increase the risk of atrial fibrillation, a serious type of arrhythmia, by 280% in adults over 65. And atrial fibrillation is no small matter. It's one of the leading causes of heart attacks, strokes, and other heart attacks. To understand why this is so dangerous, consider what happens step by step. First, the cold water hits your skin abruptly. Second, peripheral blood vessels constrict violently. Third, blood is forced toward the heart and brain. Fourth, blood pressure rises explosively. Fifth, the heart, already working under stress, is unable to adapt. And sixth, it can trigger a fatal arrhythmia or a hemorrhagic stroke. In Japan, where many people culturally end their baths with cold water, the data is alarming. 60% of sudden deaths in older adults occur precisely at that moment of thermal change. Not during the bath itself, but the instant the body goes from hot to cold. Even more dangerous is entering cold water directly. Some older adults do this because they saw videos online of young people promoting cold water therapy. But what works for a young body can be lethal for an aging one. German researchers documented 47 cases of sudden death in adults over 60 who attempted this practice. All died of cardiac arrest within the first 60 seconds of exposure. A young heart can tolerate that extreme stress. A 70-year-old heart cannot. Let me tell you about Dona Marta, a 68-year-old woman. She heard on a television program that finishing a shower with cold water was very healthy. She decided to try it. The moment the cold water touched her back, she felt an intense tightness in her chest and severe dizziness. Fortunately, she managed to get out of the shower, and her daughter called emergency services. The doctor was clear and direct. You were seconds away from heart attack. Never again make sudden temperature changes. He explained something fundamental. If, for any medical reason, it's necessary to modify the temperature, as in certain specific treatments, the change should always be gradual. Reduce the temperature by 1 or 2 degrees per minute, allowing the body to adapt little by little. But for the vast majority of older adults, the rule is simple and admits no exceptions. Maintain a lukewarm and constant temperature throughout your shower. Don't experiment with your life. The emotional benefit of eliminating this habit is enormous. One of the greatest risks of bathing disappears. Your shower becomes a predictable, calm, and safe space. No shocks, no extreme flushes, no putting your heart to the test. And that peace of mind after 60 is a powerful way to protect your health and your life. The third deadly habit is one that many people consider harmless, even therapeutic: staying in hot showers for too long. Many older adults enjoy showers of 15, 20, or even 30 minutes. They feel relaxing, comforting, the best moment of the day. But what almost no one knows is that every extra minute is another minute of accumulated risk to your heart and brain. Why are long showers so dangerous? Because while you're there, seemingly at ease, several very serious processes are happening simultaneously. The first is progressive dehydration. The heat and humidity make you sweat without realizing it. You gradually lose water and electrolytes. Your blood becomes thicker, denser, and slower. And thick blood is fertile ground for clots. A clot that travels to the brain causes a stroke. A clot that reaches the heart causes a heart attack. The second process is prolonged postural hypotension. Standing under hot water for a long time causes blood vessels to dilate and blood to pool in the legs. The brain receives less blood flow and less oxygen. This is why so many older adults feel dizzy, experience blurred vision, or even faint in the shower. The third problem is cumulative heat stress. Throughout the shower, your heart is working harder than normal to compensate for the heat and changes in circulation. After 10 or 15 minutes, this effort is no longer mild. It's like putting your heart through a marathon, especially if you're over 60. A British study from Imperial College London followed 2,000 older adults for 3 years. The results were clear and worrying. Showers longer than 10 minutes increased the risk of fainting by 340% and the risk of serious falls by 280%. And a fall in the bathroom, at this age, can change your life forever. But here's something even more important, something almost no one tells you. The most dangerous moment isn't while you're under the water. It's right after you get out of the shower. Why? Because when you go from the hot water to the cooler environment of the bathroom, there's a sudden temperature change, the same one we already saw as one of the most dangerous habits. In addition, your blood pressure, which was low due to vasodilation, needs to rise quickly. Your heart has to redistribute the blood that has accumulated in your legs to the rest of your body. And if you're dehydrated with thicker blood, this process becomes much more difficult. All of this happens while you're trying to maintain your balance on a wet floor. According to the U.S. National Safety Council, 68% of bathroom-related cardiac events occur within the first 3 minutes after getting out of the shower. Not during the shower, but right afterward. Let me tell you about Don Alberto, a 74-year-old man. He enjoyed 25-minute showers every morning. One day, as he stepped out of the shower, he felt intensely dizzy. He tried to grab the curtain, but couldn't. He collapsed. His wife found him unconscious. He had suffered an ischemic stroke. He survived, but was left with lasting effects. His neurologist was clear. The long shower dehydrated him, his blood thickened, and upon exiting the shower, the change in pressure facilitated the formation of a clot that traveled to his brain. That's why the American Heart Association recommends that older adults limit their showers to a maximum of 5 to 7 minutes. with 5 minutes or less being ideal. In that time, you get all the benefits of hygiene without accumulating the risks of prolonged cardiovascular stress. If you need more time, for example, to wash long hair, do it sitting in a shower chair. Being seated drastically reduces the risk of fainting and falling. And now, pay attention to this safe exit protocol, which could save your life. First, about 30 seconds before you finish, slightly reduce the water temperature. Second, turn off the shower and remain standing in the tub for another 30 seconds, allowing your body to begin adjusting. Third, get out slowly, using the wall or a grab bar for support. Fourth, sit down immediately, either in a chair or on the closed toilet. Fifth, dry yourself sitting down for 2 or 3 minutes. And sixth, only then stand up to get dressed. This simple protocol reduces the risk of fainting and serious events after showering by up to 85%. The emotional benefit is enormous. Your shower ceases to be a moment of invisible risk and becomes a brief, efficient, and safe routine. You no longer jeopardize your health by staying under the water just a little longer. And after 60, that decision can make the difference between continuing to live independently or facing consequences no one wants. The fourth deadly habit isn't about how you shower, but about when you choose to shower. And here are 2 very common and extremely dangerous mistakes: showering on an empty stomach and showering immediately after eating. Both put your heart and brain under stress that often results in dizziness, falls, heart attacks, or strokes. Let's start with the first, showering on an empty stomach. When you wake up and haven't eaten yet, your blood glucose levels are low. Your body is in energy-saving mode. Your brain and heart are barely functioning. If you get in the shower in that state, even with warm water, you're adding a very dangerous level of stress. Hot water dilates your blood vessels and lowers your blood pressure. If your glucose was already low and now your blood pressure also drops, the result is clear: less oxygen and less energy reaching the brain. That's why you experience dizziness, blurred vision, sudden weakness, and, in many cases, fainting. A study by the University of Barcelona analyzed 500 cases of falls in the bathroom among older adults. The data was striking. 62% of these falls occurred after the person had showered on an empty stomach before breakfast. The average glucose level was 65 milligrams per deciliter, below the safe level of 70. But there's something even more serious. With low glucose, the heart has less fuel to function. If at that moment it is forced to adapt to the heat of the shower, a dangerous arrhythmia can be triggered. Donna Carmen, 69, had the habit of showering as soon as she woke up. "It wakes me up and energizes me," she said. One morning, 3 minutes in her shower, everything started spinning. She tried to get out but fell and hit her head. Her daughter found her unconscious. At the hospital, her glucose level was 58. The doctor was clear: her body didn't have enough energy. The shower lowered her blood pressure even further, and her brain was momentarily deprived of oxygen. He was very lucky not to have a stroke. Now let's look at the other extreme: showering immediately after eating, especially after a large meal. At that time, your body is focused on digestion. A large amount of blood is directed to the stomach, intestines, and liver. Your heart is already working harder than usual to support this process. If you shower at that moment, especially with hot water, you're asking your heart to do 2 heavy jobs at once: maintain digestion and adapt to the vasodilation caused by the heat. For an older adult's heart, that can be too much. Furthermore, hot water dilates peripheral blood vessels and steals blood that should be aiding digestion. This leads to slow digestion, nausea, weakness, dizziness, and a dangerous reduction in blood flow to the brain. The result can be fainting or something much worse. Japanese researchers demonstrated that showering within the first hour after eating increases the risk of postprandial hypotension, a dangerous drop in blood pressure after meals, by 420%. Dr. Takashi Yamamoto, a cardiologist at Tokyo Hospital, explains it simply: the body has to choose between digesting food and handling the heat stress of the shower. It can't do both efficiently, and that conflict can be fatal. Don Luis, 72, always showered after lunch. It refreshes me, he said. One day, 15 minutes after a large meal, he stepped into the shower. 5 minutes later, he felt a sharp pain in his chest that radiated down his left arm. His wife heard a thud. Don Luis had suffered a heart attack. The doctors were clear. His heart couldn't handle the simultaneous stress of digestion and the heat of the shower. That's why the European Society of Cardiology is very clear with its recommendations for older adults. Never shower on an empty stomach. Never shower immediately after eating. The safest time is between 30 and 60 minutes after breakfast, or at least 2 hours after lunch or dinner. The ideal protocol is simple. First, wake up calmly. Second, drink a glass of water. Third, eat something light, a piece of fruit, toast, or yogurt. Fourth, wait 30 to 45 minutes. Fifth, take a safe 5-minute shower. At this point, your blood sugar is stable, your blood pressure is normal, and your heart isn't under strain. If you prefer to shower later, do so 2 hours after any main meal. Mid-morning, between 10 and 11 a.m., or mid-afternoon, between 4 and 5 p.m., are usually the times of lowest natural cardiovascular stress. The emotional benefit is enormous. You stop feeling weak, dizzy, or unsteady in the shower. Your body is prepared, your heart is ready, and that moment ceases to be a risk and becomes a safe and enjoyable routine. The fifth and final deadly habit isn't a single one. It's actually a combination of two very common mistakes that almost all older adults make without realizing it: standing up abruptly after showering and not hydrating properly before and after. Together, these two errors make the minutes after showering the most dangerous time of the entire day. After a shower, even if it was short and with lukewarm water, your cardiovascular system is still adjusting. Your blood pressure is trying to stabilize, and your blood vessels are slowly returning to their normal state. At that moment, your body is vulnerable. If you stand up suddenly, bend down to pick something up, turn your head quickly, or try to walk briskly, something very dangerous can happen: orthostatic hypotension. Orthostatic hypotension is a sudden drop in blood pressure when you change position. In a matter of seconds, your brain stops receiving enough oxygen. And those few seconds are more than enough to cause intense dizziness, blackouts, total loss of balance, falls, head injuries, brain bleeding, and even death. An Australian study by the Baker Heart and Diabetes Institute was conclusive. 78% of fatal falls in the bathroom occur within the first 5 minutes after showering, and 89% are related to sudden movements, such as standing up quickly, bending down, or turning around abruptly. And why are older adults so vulnerable? Because with age, the system that automatically regulates blood pressure, called the baroreflex, slows down. In a young person, the body corrects the pressure in 1 or 2 seconds. In an older adult, that adjustment can take 10 to 15 seconds. During that brief time, you are literally in a zone of extreme danger. Dona Rosa, 76, finished her shower and dried herself sitting down. So far, so good. But upon hearing the phone ring, she stood up abruptly. The very second she stood up, everything went dark. She fell backward and hit her head on the sink. She suffered a massive brain hemorrhage and died 12 hours later. The medical report was clear: post-shower orthostatic hypotension with head trauma. One sudden movement was enough to change everything. That's why, after showering, follow this protocol without exception. First, remain seated for at least 2 or 3 minutes while you dry off. Second, before getting up, swing your legs up and down about 10 times to activate circulation. Third, get up in 3 stages. Sit on the edge of the shower, wait 5 seconds, then stand up using your support and wait another 5 seconds before walking. Fourth, take your first step slowly, always with one hand on the wall or a handrail. Fifth, don't bend over, don't turn sharply, and don't rush. This simple protocol reduces the risk of falls after showering by more than 90%. Now let's move on to the second big mistake: not staying properly hydrated. Most older adults drink less water than they need. Many don't feel thirsty, and others avoid drinking fluids for fear of getting up to use the bathroom at night. The problem is that when you arrive in the shower dehydrated, your blood is already thicker than normal. The heat of the shower makes you sweat, even if you don't notice it. You lose even more fluids. You get out of the shower more dehydrated than before. Thick blood combined with low blood pressure is an extremely dangerous combination. It's the perfect breeding ground for a blood clot. A clot in the brain causes a stroke. A clot in the heart causes a heart attack. A clot in the lungs causes a pulmonary embolism. Researchers at the Academic Medical Center in Amsterdam discovered that dehydrated older adults are 3 to 8 times more likely to experience a serious thrombotic event within 24 hours of taking a hot shower. Furthermore, dehydration worsens orthostatic hypotension because less blood is available to reach the brain when you stand up. Don Enrique, 73, hardly drank any water. "I'm not thirsty," he always said. One afternoon, after a shower, he felt dizzy, but he ignored it. 2 hours later, his right arm stopped responding. He had suffered an ischemic stroke. His blood, too thick due to dehydration, had formed a clot that traveled to his brain. He survived, but was left with permanent partial paralysis. His neurologist was blunt. If he had been properly hydrated, that clot probably wouldn't have formed. The rule is simple and can save your life. Drink a glass of water before showering and another afterward, even if you're not thirsty. Stay well hydrated throughout the day. Water not only hydrates you, it also keeps your blood flowing, your blood pressure more stable, and your brain protected. When you avoid sudden movements and stay well hydrated, those critical minutes after your shower cease to be a threat. Your body adapts safely, your heart works without overload, and your shower finally becomes a moment of care and not danger. Now let's talk about the hydration protocol for a truly safe shower, because the water you drink is just as important as the water you shower with. This protocol isn't optional. It's one of the simplest and most effective ways to protect your heart and brain. Before showering, drink a full glass of water 15 to 20 minutes beforehand. This prepares your body, increases blood volume, and helps stabilize your blood pressure during your shower. Never get in the shower dehydrated, even if you're not thirsty. Thirst is diminished in older adults, and by the time it does appear, it's often too late. After showering, drink another glass of water as soon as you finish getting dressed. This replenishes the fluids you lost through sweat, even if you didn't notice, and helps your blood pressure return to normal faster. Throughout the day, aim to drink 6 to 8 glasses of water, and more if it's hot or if you're taking diuretics. Don't wait until you feel thirsty. Staying hydrated is a silent but powerful way to prevent heart attacks, strokes, and falls. The benefit isn't just physical. When you know you're well hydrated and following a safe showering protocol, you move with more calm and confidence after showering. That hidden fear of dizziness or falling disappears. You regain peace of mind, security, and control over your body. Now, pay close attention because I'm going to give you the complete safe showering protocol step by step, integrating everything you've learned. This is the same protocol taught in geriatric hospitals and rehabilitation centers, and it has been shown to reduce bathroom-related cardiovascular events by more than 85%. Before showering, start by getting ready. If it's morning, have a light meal. If it's later, make sure at least 2 hours have passed since your last meal. Then, drink a full glass of water, about 250 milliliters, and wait about 15 minutes for it to be absorbed. Use this time to prepare everything you'll need. A towel within reach, clean clothes ready, a non-slip bath mat in place, a shower chair if you use one, and sturdy grab bars. 5 minutes before showering, go to the bathroom and empty your bladder. This prevents dangerous emergencies during your shower. During your shower, timing is key. The ideal duration is between 5 and 7 minutes, never more. Before getting in, adjust the water temperature. It should be lukewarm between 35 and 38 degrees Celsius, 95 and 100 degrees Fahrenheit. Test it with your hand. If there's a lot of steam or your skin turns very red, the water is too hot. Wait until the temperature is stable before getting in. Enter slowly. Don't jump under the stream. First, wet your feet and legs, then your arms, then your torso, and finally your head. This process takes less than a minute, but it prevents thermal shock. While washing, Always keep one hand on the wall or grab bar. If at any point you feel dizzy, weak, or have blurred vision, sit down immediately. Don't ignore any signals your body sends. Avoid closing your eyes for extended periods, as this can cause disorientation. Keep track of time. If you need more time to wash your hair, do it sitting down. 30 seconds before you finish. Lower the temperature slightly, 1 or 2 degrees. Never finish with cold water. Turn off the water and remain standing still in a shower for about 30 seconds. This allows your body to begin adjusting before stepping out into the cooler air. After the shower comes the most critical part, where most accidents happen. Open the curtain or door slowly. Step out slowly and carefully, using your hands for support. Never rush. Sit down immediately on a chair, stool, or closed toilet, and remain seated for at least 2 or 3 minutes. This is one of the most important steps in the entire protocol. Never dry yourself standing up. Dry yourself calmly while seated. Start with your feet and legs, then your torso and arms, and leave your head for last. Get dressed while seated as well. Put on your underwear and main clothing without getting up. Only put on socks and shoes if you can do so safely from a seated position. To get up, always do it in stages. First, move your legs up and down about 10 times to activate circulation. Then slide to the edge of the chair and wait 5 seconds. Next, stand up slowly, supporting yourself well, and wait another 5 seconds before walking. Never get up in one swift motion. Take small, slow steps, keep one hand on the wall, and avoid sudden turns or bending over for the first 5 minutes. Once dressed and steady, drink your post-shower glass of water. Then, sit for another 5 to 10 minutes and see how you feel. If you experience dizziness, weakness, or palpitations, stay seated and ask for help. Don't ignore any warning signs. If you live alone, leave the bathroom door unlocked. Keep a waterproof phone or a medical alert system handy. Let a family member or neighbor know when you're going to shower, and, if possible, do it when you know someone is nearby. If you have heart disease, talk to your cardiologist. You may need even shorter showers, 3 to 4 minutes, or blood pressure checks before and after. This protocol isn't meant to scare you. It's meant to protect you, because showering should be a moment of care and well-being, not a silent risk. When you follow these steps, you shower with safety, confidence, and peace of mind, knowing you're doing everything you can to protect your health. If you take blood pressure medication, this point is crucial. Never shower immediately after taking antihypertensive medication. These drugs already lower your blood pressure in a controlled manner. Adding the effect of hot water can cause your blood pressure to drop dangerously. The result can be severe dizziness, loss of consciousness, a fall, or even a serious cardiovascular event. The rule is simple and clear. Wait at least 2 to 3 hours after taking your medication before showering. This time allows your body to stabilize and prevents an excessive drop in blood pressure. This is not a minor detail. For many older adults, this single change makes the difference between a safe shower and a high-risk situation. To help you, here is an ideal daily schedule designed to minimize cardiovascular stress and facilitate a clear and predictable routine. One option is the morning shower. At 7 a.m., wake up calmly. At 7:15 a.m., have a light breakfast and drink a glass of water. At 7:45 a.m., follow the complete shower protocol. 5 minutes for a shower and about 10 more minutes for preparation and recovery. By 8 o'clock, you're clean, energized, and ready to start your day with confidence and energy. Another alternative is a mid-morning shower. At 10 o'clock, drink a glass of water. At 10:15, get ready calmly. At 10:30, follow the shower protocol. This schedule is ideal for those who take medication early or prefer to shower when their body is fully awake and settled. Then you can continue with your normal activities without dizziness or weakness. The third option is an afternoon shower. At 4 p.m., always having waited at least 2 hours since lunch, drink a glass of water. At 4:15, get ready. At 4:30, take the shower following the complete protocol. This schedule is usually very well tolerated and leaves you feeling relaxed and well for the rest of the day. There are times when you should never shower. Never immediately upon waking on an empty stomach. Never right after eating. Never before going to sleep, especially if you have cardiovascular risk factors, because a disturbance in your nighttime heart rhythm can occur when you are alone and unsupervised. To understand the real impact of this protocol, listen to this story. Don Francisco, 78, had experienced 2 episodes of severe dizziness in the shower. His family lived in constant fear. Every bath was a source of anxiety. After learning this protocol, he made simple but decisive changes. He installed grab bars, incorporated a shower chair, started timing his baths, and reduced their duration to 5 minutes. He implemented each step with discipline and consistency. 6 months later, he hadn't had a single incident. A year later, he was still doing just as well. At his medical checkup, his cardiologist checked his vital signs after the shower and told him, "Your vitals are perfect." This protocol literally saved your life. Don Francisco summed it up better than anyone. "I'm no longer afraid of the shower. I stopped worrying my family. I bathe with confidence and security. I've regained my independence and peace of mind. This simple protocol changed my life." And that is exactly what this method seeks, to make something as everyday as a shower an act of care, autonomy, and well-being, not a silent risk. The total time for the entire protocol is approximately 20 to 25 minutes, including preparation and the period after showering. It may seem like a lot compared to a quick shower, but understand this. Those extra minutes can make the difference between continuing to live independently and experiencing a life-changing event. Every step has a medical reason. Every pause is designed to protect your heart, your brain, and your balance. This isn't exaggeration. It's smart prevention. Here's the bottom line. No beating around the bush. 20 to 25 minutes following this protocol versus years of healthy, independent, and fearless living. That's the equation. It's not about complicating your life. It's about protecting it. Changing these 5 habits doesn't take anything away from you. On the contrary, it gives you back security, confidence, and peace of mind. And that, at any age, is worth its weight in gold. These extra minutes that many call a waste of time aren't a nuisance. They're a direct investment in your survival. Remember this key fact. More than 17,000 older adults suffer shower-related cardiac events each year, and nearly 80% of those cases can be prevented with simple changes like the ones you just learned. Your shower doesn't have to be a danger zone. It can and should be a safe, calm, and restorative time. It all depends on what you do starting today. Applying these 5 changes can give you 10, 15, or even 20 more years of life. It can prevent your family from experiencing the nightmare of finding you unconscious in the bathroom. It can keep you independent, active, and with a good quality of life. This isn't alarmism. It's medical reality. And now that you know, it's your responsibility to act. If this video opened your eyes to dangers you weren't aware of and showed you how to protect yourself, I need you to do something very important right now. First, subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications. Every week I share information like this. Information that can literally save lives. These are things many doctors can't explain in a 10-minute consultation, but they make a huge difference in your daily life. Second, leave me a comment now. Tell me honestly which of these 5 dangerous habits you had without knowing it. Did you use very hot water? Did you shower on an empty stomach? Did you stay under the water for 20 minutes? After following the protocol for a week, come back and tell me how you felt. I read all the comments and respond personally. Your experience can help and protect thousands of people who are reading this. Third, like this video. Every like helps YouTube show this content to more older adults who are currently at risk without knowing it. A single click can make the difference between prevention and tragedy. Fourth, share this video urgently. This may be the most important video you share today. Think about your dad, your mom, your grandparents, your aunts and uncles, your elderly neighbors. Some of them shower with water that's too hot. Some spend 20 minutes in the shower. Send them this video via WhatsApp. You could be saving their lives, literally. Fifth, print out the safe shower protocol and put it in the bathroom where you'll see it every day. If you don't already have grab bars, install them. Get a shower chair. Use a non-slip mat. These are small investments that can prevent huge medical expenses or something much worse, the loss of a loved one. Sixth, if you have heart problems, diabetes, or take blood pressure medication, show this video to your doctor at your next appointment. Ask if you need to adapt the protocol to your situation. The vast majority of professionals support it because it's based on solid scientific evidence. Seventh, and this is key, start today, not tomorrow, not next week. Your next shower should be different. Adjust the temperature. Use a 5-minute timer. Dry yourself sitting down. Every shower you take with the old habits is a shower in which you needlessly risk your life. Now, your next step, remember the stories you heard. Don Ramon and his heart attack. Dona Marta and the heat stroke. Don Alberto and his stroke. Dona Carmen and the fall while fasting. Dona Rosa, who died from standing up too suddenly. Don Enrique and his blood clot due to dehydration. And Don Francisco, who changed his life by applying this protocol. These aren't made-up stories. They're real people, real families. Some suffered tragedy. Others were saved in time. You decide which side of the statistics you want to be on. Don't let something as simple as a daily shower steal years from your life. Don't let a seemingly innocent habit destroy your family with a preventable tragedy. Your heart has faithfully beaten for 60, 70, 80 years. Don't betray it by subjecting it to unnecessary stress every day. Protect it. Take care of it. Respect it. Every safe shower is a gift for your heart. Every protocol followed is another day of life gained. Every change you make moves you further away from danger. Your family needs you. Your children, your grandchildren, your loved ones need you. The world needs you here. See you in the next video. Shower safely. Live peacefully. Protect your heart every day. And remember, the most dangerous shower is the next one you take without changing your habits. But the safest one can also be the next if you start today.